Good morning or afternoon when you're seeing this. So my Zoom is acting up, so I'm thinking I might need a video later to just kind of go over what you're going to be doing today. If you don't have electricity or um, you're having internet issues, I totally understand because Miss Fisher's having the same thing. So just do the very best you can. I understand. Okay, so let's just pretend you are starting when you log into Canvas. I want to go over your assignments for the day. So you're going to log into AP Lang. Just like we discussed yesterday, when you walk into the class or when you open class and you start class online, normally we would be clicking Zoom link, but because my Zoom is not working, it kicked me off twice. I've been trying to get back on and start a meeting and it just gives me the circle of death. So, I'm going to try one more time, but more than likely we'll just do this way. And then tomorrow morning, my electricity is off right now. Tomorrow morning, my electricity should be back on, and I should be able to Zoom tomorrow, no problem. It doesn't look like we'll have issues, and hopefully my internet will be back running. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine tomorrow. So let's just go to weekly modules for today. Let's click on. Remember, we're going to go into our module. I'm going to link the correct module each week. So we're going to click here. We know we are under Thursday. So we're going to click on our objectives and our agenda. I just gave you a little note that my electricity is out and why I won't be Zooming. And then just gave you can just read that. And then our objective for today, I can identify and discuss rhetorical choices, devices in order to analyze their purpose and significance within a nonfiction text. So I'm not super worried that you know all these obscure terms. I'm not worried at all. We've been working with devices and choices, and the rhetorical analysis section of the test really focuses on what are the choices being made. And like I've told y'all before, they're more worried about why and how the choice was made than you being able to identify some weird term like synecdoche or, zeugma or however all that stuff. They are not really, it's good to identify it, but it's not the end all be all. So we want to be able, because we have two parts of rhetorical analysis and two parts of analysis at all that we've been working with since freshman year, and that is identifying. So identifying, you can't talk about it if you can't say, here's what this is. Here's this choice. Here's this rhetorical device. But the golden ticket, the reason, the whole focus of what they want to know you can do is that you can analyze that choice and say, look, here's its purpose and significance. Here's why it's used. Here's the outcome, especially in rhetorical analysis. So that's why we're going over these devices. But I don't want you to get caught up on, you're going to look at this list and be like, I have never heard of these. When I first started teaching this class and learning about this test, I didn't know a lot of these. So we just want to take our time. We're going to learn a few through this assignment, and then we're going to move into really looking at the writing, the multiple choice, and looking at rhetorical analysis as a whole. But I want to start here before we jump into rhetorical analysis. Tomorrow, I'm going to go into more depth about your summer reading, but this will use some of your summer reading as well. Okay, so your agenda, you're going to complete the bell ringer, which is just a quick thing on Mentimeter, and I'm going to use your response you give in class tomorrow. You're going to read over the rhetorical choices and devices study guide list. Remember, everything is linked in your module that I tell you you're going to do in your agenda. I'll introduce the slide assignment, and then you'll work on your slide assignment. All right, so let's go back to our modules, so we can look at everything we have to complete our agenda. Here's the bell ringer. You'll go to menti.com. It's a website called Mentimeter. I can use this to put in a word cloud or a poll or whatever. So it's going to ask you to join a response, you're going to put in this number and there's directions in there. It's very easy. You'll be able to do it, not take very much time at all. Then we need to do two things. So we're going to do our rhetorical device slide assignment, and then there's the study guide that is the list. There are actually some more, but I want to start with this one up here. So let's just look at the list really quickly. Some of these up here, like these are kind of your parts, rhetorical basics they call it. They've kind of split it into groups. But you kind of look through, you know tone, you know syntax, you know diction. These are all ones that we've worked with for a long time. But some you may not. You'll know what a trope is. You just haven't heard that word yet. And this actually is used more in lit than it is in Lang. You won't even very often see trope in Lang. But don't choose ethos, pathos, and logos as one of your slides. And remember, in Lang, we don't say they appeal to ethos. Well, no, ethos is the appeal. Maybe they appealed to your sense of fear, which would be pathos, your emotions. But we don't say them by their name. The AP test is not like that. And I want you to skip purpose. But where I want you to come down. You can look at parallelism, chiasmus, antithesis, an antidote. You can look over here, similes, analogies, metaphors. And I'll tell you in a second why you can only use one of those. Malapropism, you probably don't know what that means. You can just kind of keep looking through. Ellipsis, I've taught you what those are. Let's keep scrolling down. If you don't know it, then you can use that one as one of the ones you don't know, because I'm going to tell you in a second. So just look through. Some of them you probably do. These are words to describe tone, and we'll go into those. We've worked with tone. You've worked with tone no matter what class you were in. But these words you haven't seen. Yeah, I'm almost positive you haven't seen these words yet. We'll talk about those. Alliteration. Consonants, you will still see these in AP Lang. You'll use those in rhetorical analysis for sure. Don't worry about the logical fallacies yet for this assignment. We will do a whole unit or a whole lesson on logical fallacies. So you're going to look over this list and you're going to look for 4 terms you're going to focus on. So you can look through the list. You're not learning this entire list. This is not the point. Oh, anaphora, that little word, we've seen it before. Epistrophe is the opposite of anaphora. Really, they're more worried about what is happening. And we know anaphora and epistrophe are just a type of repetition. So you could just say repetition if you didn't remember these crazy words. They're not worried about that. So let's go back and click on... Let's just go back to the module to look at the activity. All right, here's your assignment. You're going to choose 4 devices from that list and create a Google slide for each one. I've created a Google slide down here. I did not use rhetorical analysis. Well, this is actually, is a poetic device. It's used in Lit and English 1 and 2. So I just use this as an example, so you can't use any of this stuff because it's not for Lang. But I just use this term as an example for you to see what it would look like. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to choose 4 terms. 2 of them, you'll see here, should be ones you don't know very well or not at all. 2 can be metaphor is a rhetorical device. Alliteration. Y'all are familiar with those 2, so you can use those for 2 of them. I would like for 2 of them to be words that you have never heard of before. There's going to be 4 parts. First is the definition. Well, you've got to have the term, but then you want to have the definition. I just copied and pasted that when I made this example. The definition, I'm okay if you do that for the definition, not for the analysis down here. Remember, we've got identification, which would be on this side, and then we've got analysis, which is down here. So give me the definition. Your slide does not have to look just like this, but this information should be somewhere. Then you're going to give me an example. This is from a John Donne poem showing enjambment. I gave the I found this and copied and pasted the example. You could the quote as well, as long as it's just the quote, not your analysis. Then here is an image. You can do one of two things. I found an image that to me represented what enjambment is to me. I know that when I have enjambment, I'm going to go from one line to the other. I'm not going to go into teaching enjambment, but I go from one line to the other. It flows, right? I'm not supposed to stop. It's not an end stop line. I'm supposed to keep going to the next line. We still get the rhyme, but I don't stop. The thought keeps going. So this arrow made me think of that. You could do it that way, or you could use an image that relates to the example itself. So maybe you use an image, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night. Maybe you have an image of a beautiful angel. Maybe you have an image of night with stars. Maybe you have and pay no worship to the garish sun. Maybe you have a sun with a line through it. Whatever, either related to the term itself or to your example. Here is the money shot. Here is your golden ticket. This is your analysis. This is what they want you to be able to do on the test. To analyze how that choice is made and the significance of that choice and what the outcome of that choice is. This is a little different because it's not a rhetorical choice. It is a literary device. But I say you can either talk about the significance of the enjambment itself, or what we will really get to do once we're really studying the texts is the significance of this device within this work. So I said, this is my own words, the enjambment here allows for the intended end rhyme. And I know this is not perfect rhyme, it's slant rhyme, but you've got the assonance there, fine, night, and that's part of that end rhyming. And it allows for that to still happen, but it also, while keeping the flow of ideas, if you stopped it, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night. If you stop that and you don't let that flow as one thought, as one line, then it chops the meaning. And that's why we have problems with poetry sometimes. But while keeping the flow of the ideas and meaning of the third line. And I would go into more detail if I was actually like writing a paper or something. But and take out this bonus thing. My freshmen and sophomores are doing this as well. This is bonus for them at this point. This is not bonus for you. You have to have this part. Sorry. So you will have all 4 of these pieces on yours. You are going to use your summer reading, but you can't use the fiction one that you read, the whole school one, because that won't work for rhetorical choice or device. You need to use either your memoir that you read, the nonfiction book you read that I gave you the list for, or your 2 articles that you read over the summer. Either one of those at any of these slides. So one slide could be from an article, one slide could be from another article, one slide could be from the memoir. Okay? This is not due until next Wednesday, so if you have questions, you can send them to me. I'm using my same remind code. Those who were not in my class last year, I'm going to post that remind code. You can send me a chat in from your inbox in Canvas. You could email me, mfisher@caddoschools.org, and it's on my homepage and the website now. So this is what you are going to work on today. It is not due until Wednesday, but don't wait until Wednesday. Use your class time today, especially to start looking over that list, okay? Because those will come up in conversation and especially as we're starting to annotate for rhetorical analysis. So let's go back, make sure we've gone over everything we need to for our agenda today. We have, I've gone over the objectives and the agenda. You know how to get to the bell ringer. You know where your devices are and the assignment. If you have any questions, just send me a message, and I'm hoping this gets uploaded correctly. Well, I've still got a little internet left, and I'll post this link, and hopefully everything works. Hope y'all have a safe and really good day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.